Hello everyone, this is Connor. Welcome back to more Islanders. We are resuming our low effort, high score 21 islands run. So looking at this island, it's a fairly poor place your own statues island, but I don't expect any difficulties in actually completing it. I have a large area over here and also this area down here on the beach that's going to be fairly usable. All of this stone spike is unbuildable. I mean, masons can cling to it, but, you know, most buildings can't. These large trees sometimes can be deleted, sometimes can't, and they're typically worth 3 points to things that count trees. Kind of an interesting addition. And because of the gold down here, but also the distribution of space in the large tree, this area kind of sucks, but might end up being a mansion place, and then up here can be the houses. I'm also just giving a quick scan of flowers, then I'll start placing buildings, but looks like a pretty average flower distribution. Nothing really stands out. So we are going to use 2 statues to get us through, and you know, in the past I have talked about placing double statues on the low grounds. You can have a temple overhanging them that gets the 40-point score from both, and I could do that like here, but I just don't think that'll be necessary for this island, and given the shape, it also might not even be beneficial. We'll go about there. Good enough. I think I'm going to try and play a little bit faster through this first island and then take a little bit longer on the second one, because I'm hoping to do 2 islands in today's video. That's silly. 3 points is not worth a bad placement, but the real question is it a bad placement? Well, where will warehouses go? So my forestry can go basically anywhere, my fisheries can go basically anywhere, but it'll want to be near the city, but this city's not near any coast, so maybe fishies will be in here, I think I've been saying fisheries, I've been meaning the seaweed fields, although fishers will also go in here. Yeah, whatever. I think this is gonna be good. And then we're just gonna spread out a couple more. And there's probably a lot of double tags around here. Be cool if there was one in the middle here, but seems like just that single. I do like that placement though, so I'm going to go ahead and score that, because that's never going to touch anything else, and it's also a spot that's not valuable for other buildings. Please 2, please 2. Okay, well, just 1 city center to start out. I'll need to get this second statue down before I place the city center up here, so then the question is, can I get 55 points without placing my town? I don't think so, not just from these 3. So then, can I tank the -10 now and then get all my points from this? I believe so. I feel like that'll work. So I am going to start with these. And 14 over here, and yeah, we're short with the statue, so. So placing the statue, currently I need 14 points, this will make it 24, and then this by itself will be 25, so won't need to waste any houses at least. Well, I shouldn't say waste, but place ahead of other desirable prep buildings. I hope everyone watching is doing well today. I hope that this video can bring you some calm. Wow, what a weird, like I picked Mason and just only got 1 Mason. I hope this video brings you some calm. I think temple will be somewhere around here, so Maybe I'll take this 17. I mean, if I start clustering the masons along here, then the temple will definitely end up here, but being over top the gold isn't ideal, because that area won't be very dense with buildings. Wonder if that makes a good argument to take a 12 instead. I mean, what is this, an 18? 17? 17's not wild. I might just place a further over 17 on kind of the assumption that the rest of this area will end up being the masons that I'm concerned with scoring the temple on. Because like, I can get a 17 all the way over. Ooh. Okay. I mean, to that point, there probably is a really nice score somewhere in here. It's just not low enough to tag them. Interesting. Okay. Well, I think the 19 has kind of sold me. Shame that I can't quite make that work, but yeah, we'll take the furthest over 19 and then do some house placements. And hopefully 3 houses will get me through everything. Not the Fire Emblem game, the 3 houses I'm placing now. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to think where a theoretical... Oh, I keep pushing the wrong button. I'm trying to think where a shaman would go up here, and I guess it would actually go on this side, so I should start on this side. Just do something like that. It's probably just fine. I did not mean to click that. I was kind of just... It's right after the workday for me, so I'm still kind of... still kind of resetting my brain. So I guess, if nothing else, this can be an example of why I typically don't pick farming. Maybe it'll pay off on this island. I mean, again, I'm not super worried about losing on this island, so I don't think that's like a costly blunder, but a blunder for sure. Not ideal, but we will play around it. And I will... just gotta lock in. Just gotta lock in my focus. I do think you want to cluster up your sand pits, even when you have to take negatives to do it, because then it makes further brickyards score well. And I almost wonder if there is... maybe I can use this opportunity to explore for currently undiscovered field tech. Because the mills, already mills will score well, and mills, as you play through your whole run, will generally have quite a high score, but I usually end up placing them either ignoring the fields and just placing it as a standalone building for 30 points, which I might do now, or placing them out here and then just building up the fields around them. I mean, 30 points for a building is 30 points. There's no way around that. And that feels pretty worthwhile. I might scoot it in a little bit, because I really don't want it to penalize my temple. And it is annoying that these actual 30s are so far from the wall, because that takes up other buildable space. But I could just be satisfied with a 28 instead, or I could scoot right up against the wall here and hope on the temple. That seems reasonable. I think especially if the temple ends up being built out from this, I could tag this basin, but not the mill pretty easily. Okay, so I should have taken lumber. My brain immediately said, like, I don't like lumber, so instead I clicked on the field. But brewing I do like. And 2 houses I also like. Figuring out sort of exactly how to SimCity houses into efficient space is not something I have given much thought or really plan to in the future, but there is, I think, a lot you can do with how you actually fit these together. Even though it looks like you would just fit two L's and then it would be the size of two squares, I think there is more you can do with the L's to utilize like the short sides, fitting tightly up against walls and things like that. Okay, so where are resort oasi going? Well, I'll have mansions up here, so I could put parks here, sort of trailing down into this area. These houses will all delete, as will the stones. And having these down here might allow me to... Well, I don't even love this. I mean, I could put them over here, then they won't get in the same resort oasis. I could just assume this whole area is for resort oasis things and not worry about the lost value of the tavern. That seems like a pretty easily defensible play. Yeah, I might just start placing these down here. I know it looks kind of random, but I will end up developing that area in time. And... I don't normally place this so early, but I actually think this is what's going to lose me the least points. Alternately, I could do... Now, this is truly a lunatic play. I don't want to do this sort of garbage. Maybe I do just place like one mansion in here and accept that it's going to hurt my score from any circuses, but that's not a huge deal. That's probably just the play. It's just have one misplaced mansion to save the points on these. Happy to have Shaman. Would have loved two, but we take what we get. And yeah, just the one flower up here. I don't think there's any big flower concentrations. No. Okay. Well then, so I could start crappy Mansionville down here. I think I'm just going to build it up here, though. And I think I'm going to use it to extend where I'm building. So I'm going to look at placing this in such a way that the maximum number of houses that touch these three buildings will also go touch the shaman. It's kind of like a leapfrogging maneuver. So I think somewhere like here, hypothetically, yeah, because then I have, like, these houses that I placed would not have tagged that shaman, because there's like a whole house spot here that does not. But then once I start placing these houses, they do, so that seems pretty sensible to me. The unfortunate thing is I think I do have to place some of these mansions. I was trying to save for a second city center to put down here, but it seems as though the game is not going to let me do that. I don't... Obviously, I could just like throw these over here and get 15 points off them or whatever, but that does not inspire me. So we take 26s. And 22? And maybe my mansions are just up here and ignore the gold? I don't know. I need to get more houses. 3 houses. Nope. 2 mansions. Okay. So, if we proceed with the all of my city is just going to be up here plan, then I think I do this. I'm still trying to think about where the temple will go, but the temple is not the only building that cares about masons, obviously. Oh, there it is. Okay. I thought there might be some good placements around here. I mean, a 21's a 21. The plus 25 on the temple is just hard to overcome, but points now are worth more than points later. That is kind of the fundamental fun of Islanders, right? Is that the value of a point from a building actually does kind of change over time. Because the value of getting more unlocks changes and all of that. Okay, so I want to leave enough space for a house there, which I can measure with the mansion, which I failed to do. I'm going to assume I can wiggle a house in there. That seems feasible. And save the Fisher for right now, because there will be a city center it can tag in the future, and that means we are back on mansions. Yeah, mansions just... The radius is so tiny. Like, I can't even get those statues through the city center. I can do it if I do this diagonal squeeze, but I do hate ruining my SimCity just to accomplish that. Might be the play, though. The 10-point swing is relevant here. Alternate, I could tightly cluster them over here. Yeah, 17's a good score. And then maybe some other size will be more amenable to reaching the... Wow, it's actually only that angle that does it. I mean, a 19's fine. I hate that I'm placing all these, but they are good scores. I mean, I'm giving up house space, but like a 19-point mansion is nothing I'm worried about. This is good. So... I think the play might actually be to just abandon the low ground city for now, because all I've invested into it is a tower. Like, I can just kind of ignore that tower, and instead assume all my city is going to be high ground for a little bit. And I would like... Oh, that's like almost the perfect placement for this, just right off the bat. It's like 1 millimeter too far in here, because I can't quite wiggle through that spot. I guess the question is, will I need to? And I guess the answer is no, because it's just going to be mansions in here. And like, this fits fine. Yeah. I am going to move it out a little bit, because I think there is some advantage to being able to stack mansions through here, but what is it even getting caught on? Truly cannot tell. Well, I'm gonna try and replace that just a little bit further out. Also have to make sure the gap here is still good and the gap there is good. Okay. Yeah, I might want to fit 2 of the small size mansions in there, so then if I leave a 3 wide... Oh, that's... I'm really nervous about that not actually being 3 wide, but I would love to get that full score. I guess this proves it is not. Okay. So, maybe that means this spot ends up going to a house anyway. Because I don't think I can afford to place this without getting a 3rd building touched. And I don't think that 21 allows for... yeah. Okay, so... I guess I just take 2. We'll do a 25. And... should be able to double up here, okay. Just a little too awkward to fit into there. Oh, did I not leave quite enough space here? Ah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, just looking at this length here, it does look a little precise. Maybe I could wiggle it in, but... Oh. Oh, there we go. Okay. So it might be possible in the future. I'm not going to bother fighting with it now because I'm not placing it. Wow, I have just oh, there we go. Okay. I was going to say I've placed everything slightly off, but that one does just barely fit in. Okay, and my city up here is so dense that I am pretty drawn to placements like this. That's a lot of points. Okay. So now the question is, if I do manage to get this building all the way in, I wonder if all these Halloween decorations actually do change the building's dimensions at all. I mean, you would certainly hope not, right? But 6 is bad. I don't need many more points, though. Maybe I just do something like this. Even this, and leave myself a lot more room to build around it in the future. Because this area might end up being all parks. Huts are small and high scoring, easy building to take. We will build the sand pit first, though. And then the house. I mean, 26. That's a good house. And this is already up to a 47, which by itself gets me more buildings. Yeah, that seems worth. I know that last video I was talking about my new fountain and parks tech, but every now and then a fountain in a city still is highly valuable. It's just placing fewer buildings to... Oh, and like the fact that I have 4 fields gunking up my inventory is not helping, but I guess it would be 4 lumber buildings instead, which are not much better. But yes, the point I was making about parks and fountains and how profitable it is to overlap them still stands. I still think there is good tech there. It's just sometimes you just need the points in the city. You need to place fewer buildings. Almost out of good mansions already, typical, but I'll take this. I'm looking for the better shape to fit up into here, another version of that shape. And in pursuit of that, I will place many other mansions. Does this work? I wonder if all these Halloween decorations actually change the geometry of the building. Like, obviously they shouldn't, and I would hope the designers were really intentional about that, but haven't actually tested. It's efficient space usage, I'll give it that. It's not a great score. Not a terrible score, but not a great score. Okay, let's just return to our old reliable houses. And I want to get the furthest left 27 that I can here. Looks like it's about there. This would still totally block that alleyway though, so I guess in that case I just take the 26. My circus is going to go somewhere up in here, maybe right here, so that's why I'm not taking that obvious 28. I will take this obvious 28 though. And yeah. Just a very dense little city. Alright, come on. 2 plateaus I'm pretty pleased with, honestly. So, using them for the temple would probably have me put one here-ish. That will also improve the downstairs city whenever I build that. And I mean, 24 points is 24 points. So I think I feel okay about that. I also don't really see a way to get one up here. I think I've already expanded just a little bit too much. So yeah, I'll take a 24. And then I bet there's some way to place these on top of each other, which I would be tempted to look into. I mean, when it does this, does it know that those are different heights? I guess so. Okay, well, I'll just take the 124 there, and then For the second piece, I could place it like here, also hoping to benefit a temple and also potentially benefiting everything placed down here. 14's not a bad score. Could also try and hold on to it until I get another city center. If I don't place that, I'm probably placing most or all of my mansions, because a lot of these buildings are still going to be kind of poopy without a second city center. I could start just fielding it up over here. There is a whole parks and fields relationship that I don't tend to fully utilize. I wonder if I could be more strategic about that. Maybe that's the learning that I have about taking fields. Oh, I forgot you can't put them on sand. I'm so unused to playing fields that I forgot how bad they are. Okay, so if they have to be on green, they're basically, if I'm placing them in an area that I, if I'm placing them close to other buildings, I could just lump them all out here and find little spots to place them, and they'll suck, but they'll score, I would love to be able to score them along with these fields. Yeah, maybe I put a few up here. I mean, I don't think these are going to be high scoring anyway, so what if I instead just try and score them like that? Try and get my benefit from parks. It's kind of interesting. This park will not be usable by monuments. That's an 8-point deduction, so it's pretty relevant, but could also just place it a little bit further this way so the monument can tag it without tagging the seaweed fields, or the, what are these called? Hop fields, yes. Yeah, I like that fine. We'll do that. Then the monument can maybe skirt right along there. Okay, so having placed all my junk, I still need to get 30 points. It's like 3 mansions versus the plateau. If I could fit the plateau up here, I would just go ahead and place it, but it doesn't look like any of these corners are quite large enough. This one's probably the closest, but it's just not there. And that does inspire me to just build it down here. Yeah, you see, these mansions are already decent just by having those two. So, could be worse. Alright, and then I believe we were gonna do a 17, and then this 12 exists. Okay. The more that I play, the more I value buildings like the tower that are just very small. Like, they're not very high weighting, so you don't get very many of them in your different packs. Like, each time you get new buildings, you're not likely to get very many, but they also don't take up very much space, and that is meaningful. So, this area has become bad for mansions. What if I switch to using it for houses? Well, firstly, I'd love to squeeze this in further. I don't see any reason why it... Okay. Yeah, I'd do a 26. I mean, I guess the question is, like, that would have been 4 more points if I put it somewhere over here when the circus is placed. But am I actually going to do a jeweler over here? Yes. So that's another -5 or something. Dang. Game is hard. I also, like, need a lot of points and don't have great buildings here. Not having a second city center still is holding me back. Not that I'm not, like, close to losing, I'm just sort of thinking longer term about the longevity of this island. I think I did say earlier I was supposed to play this island faster, but I think we all knew that was a lie. Well, not a lie, but a incorrect aspiration, a goal that I wasn't going to meet. So these are omnidirectional with city centers, so you can place them in either order and it'll score the same. And as such, I'm Gonna go ahead and cash some in for points. Don't think whether or not my huts tag them is going to be very relevant to hut score, because I can already get 18-point huts around here. I'd rather save my huts though. You can get 30-point huts later in the game, so this will go to mansions instead. Classic placeholder. So the real question is, do I place it like this and then try and get a wall in that gap in between them? Because if I place here, that blocks off, unfortunately, the wiggle into there. It's just a little off, like literally a millimeter. So that's an 11 versus a 12, basically the same. I don't know if that's enough room for a wall, is the problem. So I would need to place it like further out, and then I'm creating issues with how compact or non-compact things are. This area around here is still underutilized. I think I'll just take this one, and maybe the wall can go in that other spot instead. And I'm getting the same shape over and over. Weird. Alright, well let's wiggle this one in. It's a different shape. The wrong one, but it is different. And this fits in here. Yeah, I bet it catches there. Dang. It really is a matter of, like, just the slightest difference in placement can have such an impact on actual score. Okay. Finally one of these to get a final 19-point mansion. And no more mansions will be able to touch this stuff here. Okay, that wasn't great for me. It wasn't awful. 21. 23 in a worse spot. 28 in a really bad spot. Bad for the purpose of jewelers. I mean, 28 points is 28 points. I feel like with how I'm scoring right now, I need that. And 28, 22. Yeah, somewhere in here should be fine. Might try and hold the warehouse though. So if I don't warehouse, I'm probably placing all this stuff. That feels okay to me, honestly. That's kind of silly. Okay, so let's just start a much bigger field up here, I guess. And I'm not going to put it exactly up against the edge. I guess I should, because I want to make like rows that I can then run fields down. So I'll just score those crappy points. And take a 10. I'd love to have a fountain down here, but was not meant to be. If I wait on that, there'll be an extra field there for it to score. This area feels more done. I don't know what my lowest point loser to place at this point is. I don't have great options for mansions. I'd like to save the huts in the tower. So I guess it is the warehouse. Okay. And then we will take a good enough park, even though it's 2 points less than I could get later, and same argument there, I suppose. I like that they've all been this linear park so far, though. That's working well. Ooh, okay, another plateau is nice. Not as nice as a city center, but I won't hate. So, if I just place this somewhere in here, so I can't put it like over the gold. I don't have any options in here. Aha! Okay. I mean, it's 32 points right now. It probably creates a few good mansions in the future, and my temple here is gonna go crazy. I mean, this area is gonna get mansioned up. I could do that now. I could just go ahead and take the 76 circus. That's kind of absurd. I mean, in terms of like circus strategy, I am already maxing out external detection radius. So like the houses that I place around it later are still going to score 3 points on it. This is probably just the play. 76 is a lot. It's a good circus. It'll still be beneficial to this area in the future. I'm curious if there is a better 76, but it really looks like no. Looks like the moment that I lose that mansion, yeah, I'm also losing. Well, is this better? I think so. Reason being that I think that space over here has a higher chance of being used for mansions. So getting a 76 up this wall somewhere, especially if I think that is a squeezable house space, which I guess I do. Yeah, we'll take this 76. Not a huge difference between them. Still don't really want lumber. Okay, I mean, this is a freebie, essentially, and I could alternately... So, the thing about gold mines is they're minus 20 and 35 for a gold vein, so that's essentially plus 15. But to the jeweler, they're 30 points. So this is only plus 10 if I use it to boost the jeweler. Pretty close, though. So I guess the question is taking up a spot down here worth 5 points versus... where's this going to go? I can place this somewhere in here. And I guess I could like place it down here and tag it. I would need to do that all right now though, because I don't want to lose points on the placement. Let's just hold it for now. I'm not really ready with my mansions either. I have plenty more mansions to place. I don't want to squeeze out the option of placing another house here, but I do want 24, not 20. I guess let's just get squeezed. Let's see what happens there. And I just keep looking at my buildings and it still looks awful thin. Not a lot going on here. Like if I had an extra shaman up here, I'd feel a lot better about placing these houses, but I think I probably should just go ahead and take a couple. And hope there's some fancy diagonal around here that still gets me a shaman. Oh, there has to be a... Come on. There has to be a way to place this. It's so silly. Like, it's literally a mansion with separating those two. There we go. Not good placement, but glad it's possible. All sort of crappy 8s. Yeah. All these are just boosting the vanity score displayed here. There we go. About time you showed up. Alright, so this is 10 points for a city center. This is no points. So we place this first. I think at this point, I mean, 40 is nice. Getting a full 44. The 44 is really good. It does not create... oh no, is that not wide enough? No, okay, it is, just not for the city center, which is a tiny bit wider, I guess. Okay. So there's like a 44 here. It doesn't create as many good mansion spots, but maybe I don't care about that. I also... This is actually pretty challenging, I think. I think the consideration of how much mansion space do I need, how much mansion space do I create, where is this thing gonna go? Can I just keep stacking them? Why can't I just keep stacking them? That would have been cute. Okay, so presuming this thing is going like over here or some crap. Okay, so if that's going over there, I feel like it might just be this 44. Because there is mansion space here. That's pretty good. There's mansion space here and here. I can use wall plateaus to create a little more through here. And 44 points is also an independently quite good score. So I think I want to place that and try to have a 3 wide gap here, which I think I successfully accomplished. And then we're gonna, yep. Oh, wait a minute. Because of, oh man, I really hope this space fits 2 mansions. This shape isn't quite right, but I think if I had the other L variant mansion, I think it would fit right there. That's really nice, actually. Just efficient space usage. You'll love to see it. But before placing that, I should place this. So I could clip it all the way in, give me less extra buildable space on it, but then more buildings will score it, maybe. It also, like, having buildable space out here versus having the space just naturally of the ground does not make a difference, so let's do that, and then, well, some of the buildings around here are going to really pop off. Okay, and we'll take a 21. This is kind of interesting. When it rains, it pours, right? So a -1, that makes that mansion a bad idea. A +1. I'm really tempted to just do this. I mean, 100% I'm going to be building city down here in this area soon. Anything up here is going to struggle to get out of that -40. I don't want to build over there. I don't see a benefit to jumping down here. And maybe I do just take, you know, a good scoring 30-something or 40 over here, and then have future city expansion space. That feels good to me. I will take a really squished in 40. Because then at some point I'll place, like, this mansion, for example. In fact, some point might be literally right now, but let me look around a bit. Yeah, a bunch of 13s, 17. I can do better. Okay. I think, yeah, this is at least 3 wide, so just place it here. Ooh, tagging everything down there on the low ground. That's getting pretty juicy, actually. I do like a 27. Just have to leave it forward a little bit, but that doesn't feel like a thing that's worth 7 points to dispute. Although now I can't... Oh, wait a minute. No, not quite. Okay, so am I going to give up on 6 points in order to fit buildings in there? Well, if they don't fit, it's a moot. Yeah, they don't. Okay. So it doesn't matter either way. Ooh. Okay. I mean, that's just highly efficient space utilization. There's a little gap right there, but I will take that. Probably a wall fits in along there, too. Alright, getting those extra city centers really turned this around. Like, the luck element in Islanders does need to be well understood, because there's a significant luck element. 29, 33, 38, 38 over here. This is a better 38 for sure. It does take away that nice slit up spot that I was talking about, but I'm okay with that. In order to get a really nice 38. I mean, it's not much better than the one over here. It's just better because future houses can touch both of these. I guess I'll do that and just take that little gap there as like eventual tower space or something. It's probably a decent tower already. Okay. I have a few other good placeables still. Yeah, and then at some point I'll do like this, I guess. Take a couple of these. Still 9 points versus 9 over here versus 9 over here. I think I'll do over here because I'm thinking about where my next brickyard is going to be. I think this one is likelier to get tagged. And will I find good fissures anywhere? I don't think so. I think I've already taken the 3 good fissure spots. So do I take 2 pointers? I think I take at least 1 over here, because it'll boost future warehouses. And this seems like warehouse central. And then let's try and get these mansions down. Currently, this is my jeweler spot. Oh, no, there's a 49 right here. Okay, currently that's my jeweler spot. These are all going to be bad, though, right? There's no value up here. Yeah, so I'm actually... Okay, mansions go down here now, which probably means that my jeweler is going to end up down here as well. At least one of them. Fascinating how things shift. I thought for sure it would be up here, but the moment that I got some city centers and plateaus in the right order, everything changed. Weird preference towards these expensive buildings, and I'm not actually sure. I think at least one of them might be getting placed this round, probably just the tavern, but I don't mind 28. I'd love to hit at least like 30, but my fissures are going to be so useless to my huts that maybe it is good to just start taking some 28s up here on the hill and move on with those. I'll place at least one or two of them before this round's over, but let's hold off. Okay, so first consideration is how can I place this and tag all three while leaving myself maximum spots to tag all three in the future? I think that's uninspired but effective. I think I'd rather do this, though. Yeah, and then having now gotten the second shape, I can just also add it here, but that's pretty good. Now, almost certainly this is actually going to go down here, so let's go ahead and bite that. Well, I don't exactly know where the jeweler's going to go yet is the only issue, but maybe one jeweler does still go up here, and then second jeweler just goes downstairs. That has some logic to it. And a 49 is a 49. Yeah, let's do first jeweler now. Let's just go ahead and... I'm drawn to Resort Oasis. Because if you look at that detection bubble, I could get a few more fields in it up on the high ground, but low ground I'll mostly be building next to this anyway. Let's do a couple of parks. And like a hut and a fisher or something. Try and save all the big buildings for at least one more round. Or just a hut. Yeah. Just barely got there. Okay, these have to face out. I will not subject this citizen to the darkness. Okay. So I could further improve the mansion prospects down here. I could... Building up here lets me continue placing mansions, and they're not going to be like high value, but they're also not going to be horrible. I feel like that's just less effective play, though. Like, I feel like you need to get more out of your buildings than just like a fine score, and so focusing on getting more of these like 18-pointers might be better long term. So that's the play I will go with for now. That's really good. And I need more fields, ironically. Deeply cursed sentence for me to say, I know. Okay. Not gonna fit further up in there, but I also don't think it blocks anything from my reach here, so we'll take that. Again, the monument won't score this one, but I mean, +8 is +8. Okay. Guess I will take this one. Strange, but... And then do I place a resort oasis or a tavern? And taverns only go up in score. Thinking about where my markets might be, and they're probably going to be on some of this low ground. So I don't think I've left enough room in any of these corners. They could be on a wall plateau, but if that's the case, it'll be like here, I guess. So do I just take a bad score from this warehouse to make future markets better? I probably do. I mean, 7's not awful, and it's plus 20 on each market that I place. So it's effectively a 27, right? Versus like 18, or even like some places like this that I would never waste on just a warehouse. 22, 24 in a really bad spot. Well, actually, come to think of it, this spot is not really valuable for my small buildings anymore. You know what? I'm going to do this. I think on further reflection, like, I'm not putting mansions there, and houses still have lots of good spot around here and then down here. Yeah. Gotta prioritize. All right, and then 30. Now we're in Hut City, having 6 huts left for me to successfully get that little oomph over the finish line each time. It's going to make a big difference. Very easy first placement. And then these don't like seaweed fields. Yeah. Okay. So I think there's much I can do to make these guys higher scoring. Like, the +3 from the statue doesn't really seem impactful. So a good question is, how much of this is placeable? Not the light colored water. Okay. This bay here with these rocks is tempting. It just kind of means that these won't overlap with any other buildings, but that's probably fine. Versus just like slapping it down here. Future city centers are not going to go over here though, so I don't know what the point would be. This 3-point difference does not seem super impactful to me. I'm just going to go ahead and do this just to kind of make a call though. Because now that I see how full this island is, and I remember that I wanted to do 2 islands in this video, and I also need to eat dinner at some point, so it might just be time to place some things and cash in all this good score equity I've been building by being so cautious and slow in my placements. I'm just not good at playing quickly. Like, what I enjoy is the more methodical, thoughtful, measured pace of play, and that is okay. It's also just kind of funny to see, honestly. You know what? That's fine. Let's just do that. This is the first time in this run that I've unlocked a monument at all. So now I have the monument. The monument is fun because it doesn't like fields, but it does like parks. It also likes temple, city center, and statue, but you're never going to have very many of those. So you generally end up putting it somewhere that it can touch fields, parks. But because it doesn't like fields, you have to segregate those 2 buildings, right? Which is something that I've talked about a lot, but haven't actually been able to place a single building showing off until now. But it is a fun building type. It tests kind of a different city building constraint, so that is fun to play with. I like things like the monument, the seaweed field, that do actually introduce something new, like the seaweed farm having such a non-centered detection radius is kind of fun. Water plateau, still making slow progress upwards in score. place these as close together as possible using that non-centered placement. And then that allows for a lot of double scoring. And then you can even do like a third on a seaweed field, or on a water plateau, pardon, for example. Which I might do like here. And since I'm already building a platform out here, I'll just add to it. And we will finish off with this guy. Placing a little more enthusiastically now that I know I'm going to be leaving the island very shortly. Alright, so let's go ahead and score some of these. So I can get 30 points over there, and that'll boost quite a lot of future park placements. There's also like 31, 43-ish. Yeah, let's just take the 43, and then there's a... Yeah, take one of these. Well, I did just place this down here. No, we'll still take a 47. And need to put some more mansions down in there. Make the temple better. I know that's more points than I need. I just wanted to go ahead and spin the island. Okay, and just for fun, we'll slap some of these babies in place, even take some not so good scores on them. In order to... Ta-da! Okay, and as those points trail in, we'll just, no, fine, we'll watch it, we'll watch it. It's interesting. I feel like the importance of the temple in your score has decreased over time. Now that you have things like the monument and, honestly, seaweed fields. So you have a lot of other things to focus on. Wow, okay, visibility on this map is god-awful. I hope I can adjust that. It's very atmospheric, but can't see anything. Don't think... I mean, bloom helps a little bit. There's no, like, disable rain, is there? We'll do summer buildings. Won't lose any progress. That's fine. So this is just reloading the buildings, I think, because now we're on Summer Islanders. That was a new noise. Okay. Well, in spite of the bad visibility, we'll get through this island. Maybe this will inspire me to play faster. So, some large open areas, big flat chunk over here as well, spire in the middle. Not a great island. Not terrible, though. It's actually a decent tree concentration, and I don't see any sand, which makes me think that if I take Brickyard, I'll just get 3 Brickyards, no sand pits, which will lead to good masons. Let's do that. Yeah, no sand. It's kind of fun that I have the the summer buildings on for this. Okay, well, city center and mansion, everything gonna cluster in here, and then we'll just build off of this wall for the temple, which means that the masons will also be on here, which means that the brickyards should go nearby. It's simple logic, but it checks out. this, because it's a winter island, I don't think it'll give me fields. I think it'll just give me mills. Let's gamble on that. Yeah! Okay, see, admittedly right now they're not good scoring, but the fact that they score on warehouses, city centers, and mansions, and they don't lose points in anything but mill, I think that's going to be long term. It's going to pay back quite a bit. Let's go ahead and try and get these all down, though. I mean, that's cute but stupid. I don't know. Like, I could fit a market up here, but I'll try and... I don't actually think placing one here is worth it. I think losing the city space, like, honestly, even that one might have been a mistake. But we play on. Just take a 5, and then... The only problem is these will be picky about where I put them, but... Fun little summer escape up here. Brewery will give me fields. Oh no! Weird winter mappiness. You can place those on the snow, but... Okay, this is actually getting weird as hell. So, what I have here, neither of these buildings score on anything I have placed. And I have to get 53 points. Like, it's going to be easy to get. It's just not a single building I have placed impacts any other building I have placed except for the negative of contacting other buildings of the same type. So that's kind of silly. I guess I should place these, because they're never going to go up very much in value. So, just like cram them out here somewhere. Yeah, this is weird. Weird start to a snowy island. And... yeah, I think also just up in there somewhere. Not trying to benefit from the statue very much. And then... ugh. It's also, okay, annoying to me. They've made so many updates. Look, it says base score 8, but when I place it, it's 10, because the scores are modified for the snowy island. And they still haven't, like, that has not been updated. That is not respected. They added new island types, but no fixing the display error. And then we'll just do a cute one out here. I need to actually get some city going on. There we go. Hopefully 2 city centers, but no such luck. Alright, so let's build away from the wall with this. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get this final 15. I know I had talked about not wanting to take up city space on here, but A, the mills are much smaller, and B, my evaluation of this island has shifted. The winter islands are weird. It's been quite a while since I played one. Okay, not a great building pack, and not great flowers either. I think I just eat the full negative in order to place these right next to each other. Sorry, I was... For some reason I saw the building... Oh, it's... something about... Yeah, it rotates like off-axis in a weird way, sometimes, depending on if you've clipped your cursor into the next building. Okay. Well, we'll put those palm trees into each other, and... maybe here? The only problem with here is that mansions can't even detect through that width, so... I think for the sake of my 3 mansions, I will just place this. Gotta get those trees overlapped. I will just place this here, and then mansions will fill in one of these sides. The gold's over here, so I guess mansions will go this way. Don't love the back-to-back chonkers, but there we go. And I am pretty darn sure that moving this out just that much will give me enough space there to fit a building in. I'm wrong, but I was pretty sure about it. Dang. Okay, so how about there? Does that give me enough room? Yeah. Alright, and as before, my argument that the brickyard is not going to like go up in value soon or anything. I'm surprised I haven't gotten masons yet. I wonder if they're not on snow islands. Like I said, it's been a while. Just gonna plop this in some random spot, I guess. I feel a little confused about how to approach this island strategically, but... Oh, ooh, okay. That's great. That by itself is gonna make a big difference. So... I think the city center needs to be placed second because it gets fewer minus points, and I have 5 and 2. I think I might tank all of these negatives right now. I think I might place everything, even though... That's a valuable spot, but 18 is a pretty good score. It'll hurt my temple when I eventually place that. Okay, I think this area might be milled out in terms of places I actually want to put a mill. Okay, so do we just eat a negative 24 and then play proceeds? Do I try and leave a little bit of a gap? Yep, and then I think a 64 I probably cannot just face tank, but yeah, I've got some good scores in there to recoup the points I have to recover. And I can also almost certainly find a... I guess I haven't placed mills in that many places, but there's all sorts of like 17s, 19s, that sort of thing, and my fissures will now be highly valuable as well. Oh. I feel like this is actually worse, even though this being low ground does hurt, but I feel like I'm more likely to have city buildings here than I am all the way over here. I don't know. I mean, that is a shaman. So yeah, let's actually do this. Okay. It's probably a little bit worse for fissures, but that's not my main concern. Do a 20. Oh, also, based on a comment that I had on my last video, I did turn the music up slightly, so I'm sure you're hearing it more loudly. Please let me know how you feel about that. If people think the music is too loud, I can certainly tone it down. I'm trying to speak at a fairly measured volume myself, but I'm sure that's varying as well. So, yeah, just give me your feedback about the volume levels, please. Okay, well, I feel like I probably still have some good mansions. Maybe not. Maybe I'm done with mansions. Man, mansions suck. Yeah, 32 is a 32. You just gotta place those when you find them. So now I wonder... Is there a placeable possible gap right there? Kind of looks like no, but with the way that tree appears and disappears, it is hard for me to see. No, I don't even think that's especially close. Okay. Well, I could instead do like that. Can I create a gap right there? by placing this far enough out. Man, that tree is really annoying. Place like that. Okay, there is a gap now, but it totally blocks the way in. I mean, that's probably still fine, now that I think about it. Just need to replace this 10 times until I get that perfect spot again. Oh, good enough. Okay. And 18, 13. Over here I got like some 15s. Might be house time. Lots of houses. Plenty good fishers too. So if I take this 18, trying to leave enough room there. Yep. And then it's a 15. The house would be worth a lot more points, but okay. Well, obviously I just do that. I do like whenever I run into a problem and then in exploring possible solutions find one that is just clearly much cleaner. Oh. Did not expect that to be placeable. I'm still expecting a house to slide up in there, so I don't want to give that spot away. The 16's not bad, but just gonna, check and make sure there's a little wiggle room there. A lot of parks, lots of houses. I need an L-shaped house to fill that gap. I'm not gonna like die on the hill of waiting for it, but I will wait a little bit more. That said, these feel like pretty safe placements. I know I'm giving up that spot, but I don't think that mansion would touch the shaman anyway, so. Yeah, great. Oh, and I was also curious about this. 15's not great. Okay, so that can be a mansion ultimately. 2 plateaus being spoiled. Okay. Oh, this is just valuable ground to turn buildable. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. And then if I could do one over here too, that would be really nice. But in lieu of that, I am also willing to just take a 30 that's going to boost a ton of buildings. Yeah, that seems really valuable. I get placements like this and this. And yeah. I mean, honestly, even this one. Just get like a 10 over here instead of whatever medium score I had before. 19-point mansion if I ruin the city architecture. Tempting. Oh, well. That's much nicer. And gonna make sure to leave enough room for a building here. Another 19 is nice. That's pretty good, though. It's a cute placement, too. I enjoy whenever the buildings interlock pleasingly. I was really hoping I get a second one so I could then immediately check if this fits, which it does not. Okay, so a square one can go in there, and then I can maybe fit some diagonal nonsense in here. Ooh. Speaking of diagonal nonsense, do we think that leaves enough room here for a house? Looks like no. 45, 41, 37, 40, 42. I do have 6 parks now, so I could think about that. Got a lot going on, honestly. I think I will just place houses, though. Like, it's not going to take very many to get a square house to fit in there, and I still have some really good high-value houses along this line. Yeah. Like a 32-pointer. We'll take that. And 26 over there. Yeah. Okay. 8 parks does draw me to place these two. But let me continue placing out city first. Just to see. Okay, what is the least disruptive 21 I can find? I'm not going to give it too much thought, but I think that one seems pretty good. And this area over here might be about tapped out for good houses. Probably have a circus coming soon. Yeah, let's start the Resort Oasis process. So, glad that this is buildable. And alright, let me just double check. 4 points for a fountain, 3 points for a park. So fountain does come first. And then I'd love to get 2 fountains. I know that's greedy, but I think I can do it, because my my huts are going to be great, because I already have so many city centers. I mean, like, 27? Yeah. Okay, so take a 27... It's kind of a cute little 15. Nothing impressive, but... And... Warehouse is probably going to go crazy on this map. I don't know why I'm fighting for this so hard, because I'm definitely not placing it yet, but... I just wanted to see. Okay, so right now I think my warehouse would just go somewhere up in here. Get that full 36 going on. And in that case... Yeah, I'll take this weird +2 that will benefit a warehouse in the future. Or maybe benefit a warehouse now. Maybe I just pull the trigger on this. I guess let's not belabor it. I mean... Yeah, let's send it. Like I said, circus soon. So... Unfortunately, because my city is so linear, I don't have the density to avoid touching all those mansions. $18's not bad. 20's better. Okay, so if I'm placing it down there, let's go ahead and take a couple of decent houses through here. These aren't embarrassing. And hopefully one or two of them will reach this circus. Oh, come on, 36. Yeah, there we go. 40? Circuses have weird geometry. I'm not totally sure what shape their base actually is. I would not have thought that just rotating it would change the detection that significantly, but it did. Okay, so this is going to be like somewhere in here. So this would need to be here, which is not feasible. I'll put it as far in as possible. 35 versus 31. Yeah, I mean, I think that is probably still good because my mansions are now going over here. So place the large lad, and then at least one little guy can still get all three. I want to hold off on these houses until the jeweler's down. Okay, so if I'm holding off on the houses, it probably is time to lay down these parks. At least a few of them. The ones that can score these trees I should certainly place first, but... Man, so many line parks tonight. It's a blessing. Second fountain, right on cue. Okay, so I probably place it close as I can, kind of over here, and then just steadily take out those trees. Take out as few as I can, as slowly as I can, but they will all get taken out eventually. I need the placements that they are blocking. You don't understand. I need to knock down these trees to build my resort oasis. The grim future. I mean, even just like an 11's not bad. I have so many parks. Okay, so there are 6 trees right here. So let's try and take out no more than 1 tree with each park placement. That takes out 0. We love to see it. This takes out 2. That's going to be a rough one. And that takes out 0. And that also... This takes out 1. I can probably just go ahead and do this. I know it takes out 2, but these central building spots are going to be very accessible. And Resort Oasis is 70-ish, 50-ish, 64, 71. Yeah, not bad. 78 right here. That's a pretty good spot, too. That's not out-competed with anything. Okay, more mansions over here now. Honestly delighted to have a 23 at this stage. '17 as well. And let's get some more of these mid to high 20s. I know there were higher scores, I just care more about the space efficiency right now. Another plateau is nice. It's a dense little city, isn't it? Over here creates more green space. That's kind of nice. I don't know if it can compete with just the raw score bonus of having this here and the effect that it'll apply to all my buildings. Yeah. I'm just a sucker for high-value cities. And I think my scores show that that is an effective way to play. Maybe not the most effective, but certainly an effective. And possibly the most effective. This is getting pretty good, I expect. Oh, come on, tag the gold. Yeah. 70. Hold off a little bit. Yeah, just don't take out another tree. And... oh, that's really good. The fact that I can clip in just enough to get that extra city center feels really impactful. Pays to wiggle. Pays to wiggle your buildings a little bit before placing them, just in case. You never know what bit of geometry may be a little more permeable than it first appeared. I just slap down like a nearly 100-point temple with no prep. That could be kind of cool. I think my temple is going to be here or something, though. So, on a wall plateau, of course. It's not super efficient space usage, but maybe a L-shaped will fit there as well. I also probably should have looked at where this is going first. Yeah. Alright, I'll do it right. I'll do it right. Give me a minute. So... could place it over here for the sake of houses. Kind of like that. And the question is where exactly? Probably here. So then I can do something like that. I mean, these houses aren't good, though, honestly. Like, this one's not bad. But my houses are kind of bad. I guess I'm expecting them to be on wall plateaus at this point. Because, like, I could get good houses in here, but that would ruin the jeweler. So maybe the idea is just go ahead and place the jeweler and then let the houses be ruined. Or let the placements be ruined. And in that case, where does this go? I mean, I could do something kind of tricky, like put it down here, because then some of these houses in here will tag it. I don't hate that. It's also 8 points, which, like, you know, there's some 11s around, but getting a little bit of score from the shaman itself. I mean, I guess only +3, but... kind of talked myself out of the very point I was making there. These 3 points is, you know, whatever. But there's probably some... yeah, there's some 34s and whatnot in there. Okay, that placement now justifies placing it over here, although I'm now thinking about a wall right there. So I'm actually going to take away my prospect of an L-shaped building and instead just count on this being, yeah, a little hut alley. Don't kill any trees. I will only place you if you don't kill trees. Nope. 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 Well. It definitely looks like it's not going to be detected. don't mind 91. 93. Yeah, sure. I'll have good parks around here now. Can leave those 3 trees for a little bit longer. These 2 survivors. Okay. Ooh, another resort oasis immediately is nice. That is a fat payoff. 19, unplaceable. Yeah, we'll take a 19. It's also become some decent placements over here because of that shaman. So yeah, this is like a really nice city action. I like how the summer looks. I like having these little palm trees sticking up. At some point this will be pretty juicy. You know, I think it's second city resort oasis, pardon. Yeah, looking at these buildings, I think the resort oasis is the way to go. Did I place like a 70-something? No, it was a 90-something. I hope it was a 90-something. Because this doesn't kill any trees and is a 94. Yeah, okay. I feel good about this. That was a pretty good building spawn. I'm pleased with that. Oh, please tell me okay, whew. I thought I saw it light up there for a second, but I kind of glanced away as it happened. I mean, 27 is nothing to brag about, but I actually don't have that many houses placed. Do I want to wait? Am I putting houses up here? The scores are so bad. Maybe if I got a shaman, I'd put it over here and then fill this with houses and then put my circus there. It's not like I need the circus points right now. I used to put a lot of stock in getting good markets, but like my really good market here, taking up all this prime real estate, is 91 points. Versus like I can just throw it in some random spot. Hold on, let me find an actual decent case study spot, and throw it like out here somewhere and get, say, call it 31, right? So that's a 60-point differential. Do you think this spot is worth 60 points? Because I kind of think it is. I mean, you have to put these somewhere. So I'm much less concerned with my markets these days. It just takes so long to build up a decent score 2 points at a time. Like, it's tagging every city building I've placed, and it's getting 91 points. You know, versus these swing year buildings. So yeah, the markets are big. That weighs against them pretty heavily. Okay. 13s all around. 15. 18. Yeah, okay. And this just still has to be getting pretty good. That's like an 85, yeah. I'll try and build that up a little bit more. Which, I'm aware that I have the seaweed, which is kind of a free placement. I guess I need to think about where I want it to go, though. This little cove here could be good. Honestly, this little area is probably going to be really nice. I can put several of these around and then build the fields between them. I like the idea of that. Okay, 10 free points. And then let's fill Hut Alley. Okay, Island is coming along well. Just want to place like 3 or 4 more mansions before I do the jeweler. My heart tells me it's not time yet. I'm just wary of taking away the actual placement spot that I need for reaching everything here. 85. So if I place this and I have a 90 available, then that's good enough. So I obviously can't do that. Like a 20. I don't want to screw up the SimCity though. Like I think it actually probably will reduce how many buildings I can place here by maybe 1, maybe 2. SimCity meaning how all the buildings are fit together squarely, which is not exactly what SimCity means, but it's how the term is. It's kind of how the term is used in talking about StarCraft. Okay, feels like I am now overthinking this, so I'm just going to take this 15 that I feel really good about, and then I have like a 17-point park to place out here. 20? It's more trees than I remember. 21. Wow. Yeah, let's squeeze this in for a 19. Feel good about that. And there's this sneaky fissure here. I was thinking about this little pond, and I'm glad that it actually does get far enough there to tag, because that's a pretty good score. And 8 houses. I don't know. 8 is a lot. So I will need to put them somewhere besides that area that I was lining up for them. So there's also like a couple crappy ones here that are not going to get any better. So I can probably place those at some point. And waiting for a shaman there. It might be back to huts, honestly. Hmm. 26 is okay. For some reason I'm hoping for better, but 27, yeah. Well, just a couple. As a treat. Okay. Probably placing the jeweler this time. Annoying that that doesn't wiggle up in there, but whatever. 21. Yeah, like these spots over here might end up being better as houses anyway, but it's a hard sell to place the jeweler. Like the fact that it's getting 5 points better every mansion that I get 1 or 2 mansions every round of buildings. Taverns are good to hold. Definitely holding everything. I might do the circus actually, because there's only 1 point difference in what sequence you place them. Okay. I could place the hut, but that won't be enough by itself. I think I either have to do some combination of circus, hut, jeweler, market. I mean, maybe I do just take this market I was mocking earlier. Like, it's 70 points, 76 if I place it a little turned. In a spot that I'm not super dedicated to. It's probably going to be 10 points more if I wait, or I could get an extra 20 if I unlock a warehouse, which will make me immediately regret placing this, but let me just check how much the circus is. I think that's going to be my tie break. 27, probably missing out on like 4 or 5 points if I wait. And if I do place this, I'll still need 45 points. It's like a tower or a tavern. Yeah, let's just do one. Let's do a market. I'm going to assume I'm not getting a warehouse in my next like 3 or 4 unlocks. Which of course means I'm going to then immediately get one, but that's okay. Okay, just a mansion. I have occasionally thought about doing a playthrough where I like actually track what buildings I get when and see if there's some pattern I can perceive to it, or even if there's not a pattern, if there is kind of a logic you can apply to the frequency of buildings and what you should place when as a result. And I think a lot of those kind of calculations I've already instinctively grasped, but there definitely could be elements of the system that I'm underutilizing or don't fully understand or whatever. Okay, we'll take a 12, kind of just to place it. And looking at my buildings, I think it is jewelry time. Okay, so I have a 90. There's a 95. Will I place this diag? Oh, 100. 100-point jeweler. It's not bad at all. I do have to place it diagonally, but I don't think that's a huge deal. And it's 100 points. Oh, achievement get. Score 2,000 points on a snowy island. That's nice. To have the achievement, I mean. I am neutral on evaluating that achievement itself. I'm kind of placing this for the points. I don't... Okay, let me actually think for a second. I was going to say I don't think it matters, but I think there is a non-zero chance that a market ends up on this. So where would a market go? I guess it might still be over here. I don't expect this to really impact my score. Okay, here come the good... Oh, and a good fountain, too. Because the fountain over top of all of this is going to be big. Versus, like, out here I can get 12 with minus 30. That's kind of funny. Yeah, my current fountains and other buildings have blocked out a lot of the good placements. There's like a 24. Okay. So, benchmarking 24. But I am going to place this as low as I can, as close to all those score boosters as I can. Or, alternately, do I come in this way? Because the shaman is on this side, as is the... Oh, the statue's on this side, actually. That's a little swapsy. Okay. Well, I'm pretty pleased with this. Yeah, and now we start to see some of the magic houses that I've been talking about this whole time. Like a 42-point house. Come on now. Truly absurd. And even the wall plateaus score well. So I could put this third one like here and try and get more proximity right there. I could also build out over this plateau, although then it may not be build-onable. And one of these will host the the little margarita glass on the temple is funny. But yeah, one of these will host the temple. Probably this one looks like. I don't think this score would be better if I... Well, I can actually check. 1 second. Oh, it's too clipped in to the mountain here, so I may not even be able to place it at all. Yeah. Just like this one. Okay, so I do think I want a third one here, and okay, that's high enough that I can still place houses, and currently a much worse score. Cool. Okay, so these have just unlocked a tremendous number of points and buildings for me. I can also at some point get this, like, probably over... I bet I can get 80 points for this fountain whenever I actually place it. Or at least quite close. I can get a 71 now. Okay, so... It is, however, important to both use this space as efficiently as possible and also to, after every building, double check that you can still place the temple how you want to. Because sometimes they clip up through the boards in a way that blocks an important placement. Like, now I can place it. Okay. So in this case, the clipping doesn't seem like it's going to be an issue. But it has been in the past. This has happened to me. So I am going to be fastidious about checking this every time. Yeah, and you can see, like, that was a single house that swung me this far into the next building unlock. I really do think houses might be the best building in the game. It's kind of absurd. They're so small and they score from so many things. So, I have a ton of points banked, so I don't need to place this for score this round. This feels like a very sort of future-proofing play, where this is going to score me a lot of points whenever I build on this space. If I can get it clipped in at that elevation again, I'm just going to place it, because it feels powerful there. Okay, come on. Yep. And nope. Tried to push it just a little further. Okay. So worst case, I can just, slap this sort of thing there. But also I have somewhat valuable other buildings to sprinkle in. 59, 63. Whew. Whew. This might be a really high-scoring island if I played it out. Okay, so I think I do 41, 41, 35. Like, I mean, come on, these scores. Really glad that I banked up all these houses. Even the mansion would be a decent score. Not having as large of a detection radius really hurts it with the verticality, though. Still want another shaman out here before I actually build on that plateau, but 8, 12, 20. Wow. Honestly, what I did on this island really worked out. Like, I got lucky a few times. Getting 3 city centers early is a big difference. I've gotten a lot of plateaus. But this building arrangement and some of the... wow, that's pretty fun. Some of the strategic decisions I've made as well, I feel like have really paid off and are leading to very high scores. I think the most important thing this building can do is not take up space. Currently, it's just taking up space in my hotbar. 11, 6, 16. Yeah. Huts are a hell of a drug. Okay. And I could, instead of the temple... Maybe not. Okay, so... place this, double check temple. Okay. Now let me think through how this how to fit as many buildings as possible. So if I place the L shape like this, A, it's a much better score. B, it still has space for a building there. And then I can wiggle one in here, hopefully leaving enough space for another one there. That looks like it'll fit, yeah. And then like 1, 2, and then an L. Yeah, that feels pretty good. But this is exactly what I was talking about. I think I've blocked my temple now. Yeah. So that's not something that you might think about or be super concerned about, because it, looks like they're not overlapping that much, but that would have been a significant loss had I not double checked and just placed another building quickly. double check this. Alright, now it's back. And I can still place up here, and I can still place down here. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way so I don't have to... Oh, okay. Gonna try and make that 32 work. Yeah, there we go. Not as much wiggle room now. So these are like, they're scoring points for both those plateaus. They're scoring points, that's 6 point there off the city center. There's just so many things that they're able to contact from up in the air with their detection radius. Come on, come on. That'll fit, that'll fit. Just give it time. Yeah. Okay. There is the warehouse that I was talking about. It's okay though, it took us long enough to get here that I feel fine about the market play. Okay, I'm back. I had to step away briefly, so I have reloaded the game, and that means all of my buildings are in different places. But I think I recall exactly where we were in island progression. And I actually really do like the palm trees on the snowy map like this. It's very pretty. We're also almost done. So... nice. Leaves that perfect little spot in the middle for a tower as well. Oh. That's pretty funny, actually, being one building away from complete when I had to step away. You know, as pretty as this island is and as much as I'm enjoying it, I think I'm gonna play just a little bit more. Just a little bit. I'm not gonna play out all the buildings. Just a little bit more. I can stop anytime I want, okay? Alright, let's... In this case, I feel like getting the 30 is actually a meaningful difference because it unlocks my new buildings versus being 1 point short. I could play until I get a 4th tower, and then I could get the 4 towers without losing points achievement. That might be a good goal. 94. 87. Yeah. Powerful stuff. Okay, so... next question. Will it detect this wall? If I place it as generously as possible. It will. Okay. So... that has to happen in that order, but not yet necessarily. A few more parks over here. I think now is the time to take trees out. It's not going to matter. Plus a few points at this point, not as impactful. Okay, there has to be a way to fit 2. It's just this really awkward triangular space that I've left myself. There we go. 18 pointer. And can continue this plan that I have kind of brewing over here. Bad shape. I will create a spot for this, though. Yeah. Cool. And then 54, 50. Yeah, these are excellent. Probably should have put it up here instead of that house, but the house did score quite well. I can't be that upset about it. 65. That's very good. This is good too. Bank those up. And 2 houses. Nice. 25, 30. Yeah, let's do a 30. And 19's plenty. It justifies itself. Yeah, I knew there'd be something sneaky in there. Okay, so get a silly 6, and then I just want to place this somewhere. Oh, well. Oh, you know what? I turned tooltips off because I was hoping that would be the little information between rounds where text shows up on the screen. It looks like it's actually the scoring tips, which I do like knowing. So 7 points for a market versus... No, not a market. That's not what I'm looking for. 4 points for a sawmill versus 6 for a warehouse. So I actually should warehouse first. That's interesting. Okay, well, 6, and then... Man, a 65. That's a thing of beauty. I'll come back to it, though. We'll take an 11... At this point, I really probably should just be quick placing, because it's not like I've already won the island, so... But man, this is fun. This is just an incredibly well-designed game. It's very satisfying to place things efficiently. Take a 7. It's almost time for the circus here, which I'm sure has improved quite a bit since I last thought about it. Yeah, I mean, a 51, not bad. Just need a few points. Could be a wall somewhere over here where I'm not going to get a lot more down. Or just hut it up. Okay. I think I'm going to place every building I have and just see how many pluses I can bank up, and then we'll move on from this island. That seems like a reasonable ending point. So first, let's cash all this in. Wonder if... Nah, that's not great. Okay, so we'll get 6, 27. It's going to be a bunch of 19s through here. Cool. Not going to use that. Then the mill will get 5 points for the warehouses versus 7 for the mill. Okay, so mill first. And I do think about these markets. Oh, I hope I can... I wonder if just that individual hut blocked it, and before that it was totally placeable. That'd be a sad story if so, but... So it goes. I mean, even with the minuses, I think I'm just placing both of these right in here. Which does mean I should... Let's get all the industry down first. Take this 15 out here. And then I think we ascertained this goes first. Okay, so this one is best off here as a 78. And then we have a 59. That's pretty good. Wonder if they're better if I turn them. So 78, 52, 59. Okay, so the same. Now I wonder if I can place them such that a wall will exist between them. $78.59 and Oh, I should have double-checked that before placing this, because I have more than enough space for a wall here. So I could have fit another wall here on the outside. That would have been a good wall. That's a shame. A little sloppy. Good thing to keep in mind for the future, though. Lots of good walls through there. Okay. Now... I'm curious how good this is. I mean, obviously the temple's what's actually going here, but... 115. Okay, not bad. So, we have a 60 versus, come on, 48 in a much less competitive spot. 37 up top, 39 up top. Okay, we'll do whatever 60 I found over here. Come on. Okay. And then there's also a good one over here. And looks like huts are going to max out around 28. And we'll group these parks up for the purpose of benefiting the monument, which I'm going to place next. Bunch of 7-pointers. Yeah, just any of these 7s are probably fine. And then Monument's main struggle is just going to be finding a legal placement that touches everything. 145, 169. It's a good score. Yeah, I'll take 169. Just gotta find it again. Now, let's get some taverns in here. Actually, yeah, it might be time for walls. 25, and then I have 11 of these suckers. Okay. So we'll do this one first. 1, 2, I mean 20 points. There might be a way to get 2 in here, though. Yeah. And 34. As far over as I can. $18's not bad, and I think my temple will touch it, so that's beneficial. $21 in there. 28 because market. 17's pretty good. Obviously I could be looking for higher quality walls here, but also willing to just kind of go with what I got. Probably could have placed these a little better, but that is a 13-pointer, and I do just kind of want to see a big stack right here. Yeah, 361. Take that. And oh, you know what? This is silly, but I should place this first, because then the temple will not detect it. So 51, and then an innocent temple, 361, and then there's a 16 I don't have to think about. That has a certain advantage. Also, surely I'll be... Okay, there we go. Yeah, I knew there had to be a better one in here somewhere. And 49. I have so many breweries. I kind of wonder if there is a better spot that gets one of those. Yeah, I mean, like a 73 is pretty good. And 35, 31, 33. 49's good. Alright, now towers. So always start with your highest up tower because how the detection is shaped makes a big difference. So we'll go 65, and then I want to make very sure not to get the negative, but I can do a 69, and then located in and among everything a 76. And then I saw a 60 balloon, but I'm sure there's a better one somewhere. And I think placing this will actually... Oh no, it won't give me achievement because this is a snowy map, so it doesn't have every building type. There's an achievement for placing every type of building on one island, so that'll be an automatic get later in the game. But not really caring to look for better. I do see a 60. Oh! Build all types of building. I mean, I did not. Like, there are no fields here, for example, but I have 12 unlocks. This is how much extra runway I had. It's kind of satisfying to see. And a 4th tower for an achievement? Nice! Ta-da! Interestingly, I got no high-value buildings. I mean, like, I got a plateau, but no markets, no temples, no wall plateaus, no warehouses, only one seaweed farm. Also, no industry, basically. Like, not a single sawmill, not a single fisher, not a single brewery, not a single resort oasis, only one fountain, no monuments. It's kind of interesting. I'm curious how the building distribution works out, but I think that is going to be my final island for this play session. I'm trying to keep these videos to roughly 2 hours. This one's a little longer, but next time we will play this island, and probably the next one. This seems like a reasonably difficult island, so it won't be super high scoring. There's not a lot of flat area, but good to play around with how to use these different elevation changes here where we can eke out a couple extra points. So, thank you all for watching. Hope you had a good time, and I will see you here next time. This has been Connor, and have a nice day.